Hello, it's Mr. Santry again, and I'm with you here for some metric mania. So the first lesson here, number 1, is going to be for length. So here we have English for metric units. So like we talked about, we use metric in science because the rest of the world does. And just for comparison though, here it is with the English system. So this is actually number 1 on your sheet, which is longer. The first one between a mile and a kilometer, a mile is actually going to be a little bit bigger than a kilometer. For part B, 1 yard or 1 meter, the meter is a little bit bigger. And then for C, an inch and a centimeter, I think you guys looking at this ruler down here can figure it out, but an inch is bigger. Likewise, for number 2, the first part, 1 mile is equal to about 1.6 kilometers. 1 yard is equal to about 0.9444 meters. And 1 inch is equal to about 2.54 centimeters. This next section is going to be for questions 3 through 6. So for question 3, the basic unit of length in the metric system is the meter and is represented by lowercase m. So if you say you have 4m, you got 4 meters as opposed to 4g, which would be 4 grams, right? But we're talking about length. The standard for a meter, which is question 4, is the distance traveled by light in an absolute vacuum in 299,792,458ths of a second. Light is very fast. The metric units for this, so here's some comparisons, and this is also number 5. A kilometer is equal to about 1,000 meters. A meter is equal to about 100 centimeters. And a meter is also equal to about 1,000 millimeters. So there are a lot of millimeters in 1 meter, so you get the feeling that they're really tiny. So mm is millimeter, by the way, and cm is centimeters. And since there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer, you can imagine those are the biggest, right? Those are very big ones. And so for number 6, which is larger, between 1 meter and 105 centimeters, well, if you guys look over here at this one, since there are 100 centimeters in a meter, if there are 105 of them, that is going to be slightly bigger than 1 meter. For part B, 4 kilometers or 4,400 meters, well, since there are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer, if there are 4,400, that's going to be a little bit bigger than 4 kilometers, right? So it's going to be this one. Between 12 centimeters and 102 millimeters, there are 10 centimeters in every, there are 10 millimeters in every centimeter. And so if you multiply this one by 10, you'll get 120 millimeters, which, as you can see, is bigger than that one. So this one's going to be 12 centimeters. And for this last one, D, there are 1,000 millimeters in every meter. So if we go back to this one is going to be slightly bigger than a meter, okay?
Athletic tournaments throughout the world measure in metric dimensions. This diving board, 10 meters high. An Olympic-sized pool is 50 meters long. Meter, base unit for length.
Meter, about as long as a baseball bat. A meter can be the length of an average person's long step. For most people, that is.
The height of a handle on a standard door is about 1 meter from the floor.
So this last part is going to be for 7 through 8. And for the first part, number 7, how many millimeters are in 1 centimeter? Well, you can figure that out looking at this ruler here, right? Each of these lines goes over 1, 2, 3 centimeters. Each one's a centimeter. What some of you may not know is that each of these little tiny lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, each of those is 1/10 of a centimeter or 1 millimeter. Likewise, there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. So anytime you want to convert centimeters to millimeters, you are going to multiply it by 10. which would move your decimal point 1 over, which would get you 1, right? For the next part, so 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. Sorry about my writing going over that. What is the length of the line in centimeters? So they're talking about this line here, and all you gotta do is count over, right? So we got 1, 2, and it goes a little over 2, so we're gonna count each of the tiny lines past that. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 2.8 centimeters. And if you want to convert that to millimeters, again, you want to use that conversion rate, 2.8 times 10. You can use your calculator for that if you want, but I got 28 millimeters. The next part asks, what is the length of the line to the nearest centimeter? So when you round to the nearest, if it's 0.5 or above, you round up. If it's below that, you round down. So in this case, we're going to round up to 3 centimeters. Okay? That should do it for this length worksheet, but you should have 2 more on mass and volume coming up.